Now, how many of you have ever heard that Catholics absolutely forbid their parishioners from becoming Masons? Oh, yeah. That's for the masses. That's for the useless eaters. That's for public consumption. That has nothing to do with reality. How many of you ever heard of the Black Pope? You know who he is? I don't know his name right now, but do you know who I'm talking about? His office? And he's referred to as that. He is the general secretary or the council or whatever he is. He's the highest office in the Jesuit branch of the Roman Catholic Church. I think he's called the Jesuit general. Ignatius Loyola, back in the time of the Reformation, when men like Savonarola and Martin Luther and John Huss and men like that began to preach salvation by grace through faith, and no indulgences, no church indulgences, no prayers for the saints, no praying out of purgatory. They began to preach this, and a reformation began to take place, and people started leaving the Roman Catholic Church. How many's ever heard the Council of Trent in 1546? The Council of Trent in 1546 was held for the sole purpose of condemning to hellfire the Protestant Reformation. It was to condemn to hellfire everyone who would not acknowledge the supremacy of the Bishop of Rome, that's what he's called, the Pope, and the authority of the Mother Church, and that if they were therefore branded as heretics, and they were condemned to hell forever. The Council of Trent was held in 1546 for that purpose. The Roman Catholic Church came out with a new Bible. They came out with a Douay-Rheims, which was a translation of the Old Latin into their Bible to counter the Reformation Bible of 1611, which started with the Bishop's Bible, Tyndale's Bible, the Great Bible, and all of these books, which led up to 1611, the King James Bible, this book right here. Folks, if they only knew the history of these books right here and what brought us to where we are today, it changed their thinking about a lot of things. The King James Bible came out of blood and fire. It came out of blood and fire. This book right here came out of the Protestant Reformation. This book right here was the very foundation basis for those who turned against Rome, because this book was the book precious to them, very precious, because it was the King James Bible. It didn't read like their Bible. There's called in the Roman Catholic Church, I forget the name of it, I haven't seen it in a long time. It's something about their books. They have a term that they put on the front of a book or on a list of books, and it is nihil obstat. That's Latin for nothing objectionable. What that means is that they have for centuries. You know, how many's ever heard about book burnings? You remember Nazi Germany back there in World War II? They were burning books. And you know, the liberal media and the press, they make a big deal about book burnings and blah, blah, blah. Well, the Catholic Church had their own book burnings, but it was a different way. They imprinted nihil obstat, which means nothing objectionable. In plainer words, if this book is allowed to be read by parishioners in the Catholic Church, it will have nihil obstat on it. And if it doesn't have it, you better not be caught with it, because you don't need to be reading it. That's what they did then, and I don't know that that's ever been lifted. They told you what you could read and what you couldn't read. Guess which book was listed as blackballed? The King James Bible. It's written right in there. Don't read that thing. You leave that book alone. You come back to your Bible. Now, of course, today it doesn't make any difference. There's so much junk out there. They don't know doesn't have a clue what's coming down the road. They think one Bible's good as the other as long as it says a few words and says something about God and angels and Jesus. Well, you know, it doesn't make any difference. But the King James Bible is anti-Lucifer, anti-Satan, and anti-devil.